I have a confession to make. I was not quite honest yesterday when I pretended not to know you. I knew you perfectly well. There's nothing wrong with my memory. It's just that I don't like to remember. Why shouldn't I remember you? We were best of friends. In fact, inseparable, if you recall. It's just that it was quite a shock seeing you after all these years. No, not even that is true. I noticed you in the cemetery day before yesterday. Still, I hardly knew what to say to you. What do you say to someone after 20 years when you've already said everything? It bothers you a bit too, doesn't it? You are shy with me, but you like my window and my little view, I can see. You still look doubtful. About my sanity? Well, yes, after all, here I am in the nut house. But I remember you perfectly, everything we ever did, every name you ever had. We knew each other by several names depending on the oblique and obscure circumstances of our lives and our readings. I bet I remember your names better than you. To begin with, you were simply Harry when you lived at Northumberland, close to us on the river road, and we went to school together. Later, you were known variously as Harry Hotspur, a misnomer because, though you were pugnacious, you were not much of a fighter. Also as Prince Hal, because you seemed happy only in whorehouses. Also as Northumberland, after the house you lived in. Also as Percival and Parsifal, who found the Grail and brought life to a dead land. Also by several cheerful, obscene nicknames in the Deke fraternity, of which the least objectionable was Pussy. Miss Margaret May McDowell of Sweetbriar, I want you to meet my friend and roommate, Pussy. Later, I understand you took a religious name when you became a priest. John, a good name. But is it John the Evangelist, who loved so much, or John the Baptist, a loner out in the wilderness? You were a loner. So, as you see, I remember a great deal about you, right? Ah, you smile your old smile. Yet you prefer to look at the cemetery. It makes a pretty scene today, don't you think? All Souls' Day, a pleasant feast for the dead, the women in the cemetery whitewashing the tombs, trimming the tiny lawns, setting out chrysanthemums, real and plastic, lighting candles, scrubbing the marble lintels. They remind me of Baltimore housewives on their hands and knees washing the white doorsteps of row houses. A pretty sight, the bustling, cluttered cemetery, the copper-penny-colored rain trees, the first fitful north wind blowing leaves every which way. If you listen carefully, you can hear the dry curly-cues of crepe myrtle leaves blowing up and down the paths like popcorn. When the wind shifts, you catch a whiff of coffee and tar from the Tchoupitoulas docks. In New Orleans, I have noticed that people are happiest when they are going to funerals, making money, taking care of the dead, or putting on masks at Mardi Gras so nobody knows who they are. Well, I found out who you are. Your profession, that is. A priest-physician, which is to say, a screwed-up priest or a half-assed physician, or both. Ah, I managed to surprise you, didn't I? Yes, someone told me yesterday. But it is more than that. It was something I observed. You were taking a shortcut through the cemetery. One of the women scrubbing the tombs stopped you to ask you something. Obviously, she recognized you. You shook your head and moved on. But what could she have asked you? Only one thing under the circumstances. To say a prayer for the dead. An old custom here, particularly on All Souls' Day. You turned her down. So something went wrong with you, too, or you wouldn't be here, serving as assistant chaplain or substitute psychiatrist, or whatever it is you're doing. A non-job. Are you in trouble? Is it a woman? Are you in love? Do you remember falling in love? Being in love? There was a time when I thought that was the only thing that really mattered. No, there were two things, and two times in my life. At first I thought being in love was the only thing, holding a sweet Georgia girl in your arms and dancing to the Limelight theme in the Carolina mountains in the summer of '52, out of doors, with the lightning bugs and the Japanese lanterns. Later I became coarser, or perhaps more realistic. I began to wonder if there was such a thing as being in love, or whether the best things in life might not be such simple, age-old pleasures as ordinary sexual intercourse and ordinary